Okay? So, again, y, that's just a coordinate, right? That's got some coordinate, always in the form x, comma, y. I don't know what that is. Let's say it's 2, 3. Okay, y is just the y coordinate. X is just the x coordinate. M is relatively newer to us, okay, but we got that about 2-3 weeks ago. That's the symbol for the slope. B is the y-intercept. So if there's 2 points, that's all you need to make a line. Okay, every line has some slope. Goes from 0 to infinite or undefined slope, and everything in between. There's an infinite number of choices there for slope. Okay? Usually they have a y-intercept, but not always. Okay, where that y-intercept is, that's a symbol for B. What's an example of a line with no y-intercept? A vertical line. Okay? That's parallel to the y-axis. That will never cross it, right? Okay, so B could be 0. And I think you had an example like that yesterday. And also slope could be 0. What does a line look like where the slope's 0? Horizontal line. Okay? So the equation looks a little differently when some of these guys are 0. Okay, so write the equation of a line passing through that point with the slope. Yesterday we probably gave you lots of equations and said, what's the slope? What's the y-intercept? Well, let's go backwards now. Okay, that's not just any old point, is it? That's a special point. What's the x-coordinate of this point? 0. What does that mean where you have an x-coordinate of 0? Let's make it accurate. 0, 1, 2, there it is. What is that thing called where x is 0? Doesn't that cross the y-axis? That's a y-intercept. Okay? It doesn't say anywhere there, hello, this is a y-intercept. All it does is give you a point 0.02. You got to know that. Otherwise, how do you know that B is 2? Okay? I suppose you could plot this the long way if you got graph paper. Rise is 5. The run is 2 in the positive direction. Okay, there's my line. Oh, look, there's the y-intercept. Okay, it's a lot quicker if you recognize that just by looking at it. So the equation, again, they're always in this form for slope y-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. All you got to do is put in the m. That's 5 over 2. And put in the b. That's positive 2. Done. That's the equation of that line. Okay? Graphically, here's 2 lines. That says L1 for line 1. Okay, that says L2 for line 2. Each line passes through points with integer coordinates. Okay, that's nice because it's hard to tell if it's a fraction. In each case, state the slope and the y-intercept, and therefore write the equation of the line. Okay, so let's start with L1. L2 I'll make a different color. So line 1, okay, I want to write it in this form. I need to know the slope and I need to know the y-intercept, and then I'm done. I just substitute those in the equation. Okay, where's the y-intercept? Right there. Okay, graphically, there it is. Nothing to figure out. Just look. Where does it cross the y-axis? At -1, 2, 3, 4. That's -5. Slope. Find the slope. I know slope is rise over run. So again, you got to find a couple of nice points. You can't use this one. That's not a nice point. But this one looks pretty nice. Okay. Make yourself a triangle. What's the rise? 2 units. What is the run? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and if you can simplify it, you want to simplify it. 2 6 is the same as 1/3. So y is 1/3 x minus 4. That's the equation of that line, line 1. Okay? Double check, is that a positive slope? Yes, it is. Okay? Goes up to the right. Okay, let's look at line 2. All right? I want to write it in y equals mx plus b. I need to know the slope, and I need to know the y-intercept, and that's it. Plug them in, you're done. Where does it cross the y-axis? Right there. Okay, so that is positive 2. You may as well use that point to do the slope, but you don't have to. You could get the slope from 2 other points, say like this one and this one. Okay, doesn't matter. Okay, those look like nice points. But let's use this one, and that one looks like it goes through a nice point. Okay, what's the slope here? 1, 2, 3 is the rise. 2 is the run. But what else do I got to do? Is that a positive slope? No, that's a negative slope. Okay, so you got to put a minus there. Let's just double check. This should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that the same thing? Yes, it is. It better be, right? Because this piece is parallel to that piece. They're both on the same line. Okay, so it doesn't matter where you get your slope. It should be the same. So y is mx plus b. That's the equation of that line. And again, if you're one of the few who have one of these, you could plot it, okay, and see if it looks the same. -3, 3 divided by 2x plus 2, that should be it. Does it look the same? Sure does. Okay. I don't know if that's that helpful, but, you know, if you got one, you might as well use it. Just double check it. Okay? Because what might you forget? A lot of people, maybe, who knows, 15% of the people will forget that minus sign. And when you plot it, it won't look like that. It'll look like that. So if you just had one of those, you would go, oh, hey, that's not the same thing. I forgot the minus. Okay? All right. A little more involved. We're going to get some questions like this. It's going to be like having the slope of this thing, having the y-intercept of this thing, piece them together. Okay? So, determine the equation of some line that's parallel to this one and has the y-intercept of that one. Okay? So we're taking one piece from one line, we're taking another piece from another line, and we're making a new equation for a line. So you got to remember this parallel perpendicular stuff. Okay? We want the equation of a line, and then again, this is the only form you know so far, so that's the form you're going to put it in. But in a few days, you got to pay attention to what form they want it in too. All right? I need to know the slope. Something parallel to this. Well, if it's parallel, what do we know about the slopes? They're the same. Okay? Two parallel lines that look somewhat parallel have the same slope. Okay? So if it's parallel to this line has a slope of 1/3. So my line has to have the same slope, a slope of 1/3. Okay? So I got y is 1/3 x. Now the y-intercept. Is this in y equals mx plus b form? And the number in front of the y is a 1? Okay? Then piece of cake. That's the y-intercept. -7. So that's the equation of the line they want you to find. Okay? So a few words, a little more reading. You got to decipher, what are they asking here? What are they trying to find? Okay? Part B. Determine the equation of a line passing through this point and perpendicular to a line having those points. Okay? Got a bit of work here. First of all, look at that point. Why are they giving you this point? Is it a special point? It is. We just saw one like this. What do we call that point that has an x coordinate of 0? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There it is. How long did it take me to plot that? What, 1.5 seconds? Okay. Feel free. Nobody's saying you can't do the quick little sketch. See what point that is. That's a y-intercept. Okay? That's a y-intercept of 9. All right? So it goes through that point, this line. I don't know what the slope is, but I know it goes through that point. In other words, that's b. All I have to do now is find m. Okay? So b is 9. What's m? Well, I want m, something that's perpendicular to this line. If I find the slope of this line, the line with those 2 points, and I take the negative reciprocal of it, that's m. So what is the slope of this? Or sorry, yeah, the slope. Okay, here's my formula for slope again. That's on your formula sheet. Don't have to memorize it. What's a good idea? What's a good thing to do? Label the points. x1, y1, x2, y2. Because some of you are still making mistakes trying to do this. You think you got it down. Hey, I got all my assignment questions right. And then you screw it up. Okay? All you have to do if you label it is just plug these in. It's just like Lego. y2, there it is. That's 0. Minus, what's y1? Negative 6. Over x2, negative 5, minus x1, positive 2. Okay? So the slope of those 2 points is positive 6 over negative 7, or negative 6/7, same thing. Okay? But I want something perpendicular to this, so the slope perpendicular, flip the numbers, change the sign from negative to positive. That's a negative reciprocal. Okay? You don't have to really know the term negative reciprocal, but it's helpful. That's what you do. Okay? Just flip the numbers, change the sign. So my equation is y equals mx plus b. Okay? Pretty involved, right? Or not so bad. Okay, let's just repeat that. That is a line, the equation for a line that has a y-intercept of 9 or passes through this point and has a slope perpendicular to some other line that passes through these 2 points. Okay? Okay, so all we got to do is horizontal, vertical lines, and then you're on your own. So you saw one like this yesterday, and a couple of you asked me, okay? You have everything's in this form, okay? That's all fine and dandy when you're given the slope and the y-intercept, but sometimes stuff's missing. That's still an equation of a line. If you like, you can write it like that. Oh look, b is 0. Okay, that also says b is 0. All right, what if what if m is 0? Well, that's y equals mx plus b, but they're not going to write it like that. I don't have to write this, right? Because it's 0. So that's all it says, y is 3. You got to know that means 0 for a slope. Okay? So, state the slope and the y-intercept of horizontal line L1. Well, they're telling you it's horizontal, but you should know that. Okay? Excuse me. L1, that's a horizontal line. Okay? State the slope. What's the slope of a horizontal line? You should already know this. You shouldn't have to calculate y2 minus y1, but if you do, you'll find it's 0, right? Okay, slope is 0 for any horizontal line. Y-intercept, there it is. B is 4. Use the form y equals mx plus b to determine the equation. Y equals mx plus b. There it is. Can I simplify that? Sure. Y is 4. Okay, same thing. Anyone got one of these? Y is 4. There it is. Okay? So let's think about that for a sec. This says y is 4. And some people go, oh, well, where's x? There isn't one. We don't care what x is. If x is 0, y is 4. If x is negative 5, y is 4. If x is 7, that's here, y is 4. Okay, we don't care what x is. There is no x. Y is always 4, irregardless of what you want x to be. Okay, that's what that says. Y is 4. There's no x. Is there an x-intercept? No, because that's parallel to this. It's never going to cross this x-axis. Okay, there's never going to be an x-intercept. Okay, they're parallel. They never cross. Okay, so that's a unique situation, a horizontal line. That's the equation. Okay, what would y equal 6 look like? Horizontal line right there. Okay, y equal negative 3. 1, 2, 3. There it is. Okay, since we're just talking about it, let's go down here. The equation y equals k, where k is some number. Hey, it could be a fraction, could be 3 over 2, a decimal, 1.5, same thing, doesn't matter. That's always a horizontal line through whatever k is. Okay, so y is 6. That's a horizontal line through 0, 6. Always, always, always. Okay, there it is. So that's horizontal. Let's look at a vertical one. Okay, we have one vertical line, L3. Let's use blue. Okay, where are we? There's a vertical line. What do we know the slope of a vertical line to be? Undefined. Okay, because slope again is rise over run. And how far does this thing run from this point, say, to that point? It doesn't. There's no horizontal distance from those 2 points. Okay? The run on a vertical line is always 0. I don't care how far the rise is. 2, 3, 6, 17. It doesn't matter what this is. How many times does 0 go into 17? We don't know. So we say undefined. Okay? Okay, so why can we not use the form y equals mx plus b to determine the equation of that line? Okay, tricky kind of question. What is the slope? Yeah, undefined. That's why. Okay, don't delve too much in this. Here's the important part. What's the equation of that line? What is y? Well, the better way of thinking about it is, what is x? Okay, what is x here? Negative 3. What's x here? Negative 3. What's x here? Are we seeing a bit of a pattern here? What's x anywhere on this line? Yeah. Where's y? We don't care. There's no y. Okay, x is always minus 3, irregardless of what y is. Okay, choose any value of y you like. The answer is x is minus 3. Okay, so that's the weird one. There isn't even a y. Slope doesn't make any sense because it's undefined. X is something. All right, what does the line x equal 4 look like? Well, where's x equal 4? Right there. And right here. And there too. Oh, look. And there. And there. And here's another one. That's the line x equal, not negative, positive 4. Okay? It's a vertical line. Slope's undefined. There is no y. Okay, so that one's a little bit odd. Same kind of thing. X equals anything is a vertical line through that point. Okay? Those are the two exceptions when you're writing equations of lines. Anything else, you're going to have some kind of slope. Okay? You're going to have some kind of y-intercept. It can be written in the form y = mx plus b. Okay? Last one. Determine the equation of the line through that point and parallel to the y-axis. Picture's worth 1,000 words, guys. Where's that point? -2 and 8. Right about there. Parallel to the y-axis. Where's that? That's right here. So this line looks like that. What's the equation of that line? Well, let's go back and look at this stuff. Is this a vertical or horizontal line? Vertical line. What point does that go through? That is -2, isn't it? Okay? X is -2. I don't care what y is. X is always -2. That's a vertical line. Okay? It goes through the same point, but now it's parallel to the x-axis. So that looks like that. Right? Okay, here's the x-axis. What's the equation of this guy? This one's a little easier to understand because it does have some rational slope. Okay? Y equals 0, x plus, what's the y-intercept here? Yeah, that's -2 and 8, remember? Okay? So I don't have to have that. Y is 8. Okay? So those are the two oddballs. Horizontal line and a vertical line as far as writing equations. Number 1, A to H, 2, 4, 5, 7, 9 to 12. Okay, so like I said, we spent 2 days on this one, but the next two equations we're only going to get 1 day on. Okay? General form and slope intercept. No, that's the one we did today. Slope point form is the other one.